So that's what started with a whole cuttlefish bone, and now it'll need to be rubbed flat to have the cross pressed into it to make the mould for the silver to go into. So basically that's the two halves, which is going to be the mould to cast the cross in. That's a little rose gold cross, so it's two sides. So see, that's the side I want to cast. Right. So, and I need something that's a relatively flat surface. Push it in flat. I'll use quite a lot of pressure because you're compressing the calcium material. You've got to be careful when you're doing this because you can snap the bone. You're compressing that to form the cross. So now what I've got to do is form a lead in and form the vents. Got to create the lead in for the metal, a funnel if you want to call it that, like that. Now we'll remove that material. So if I cut this back, I'm never going to get the metal down a tiny little hole like that. So that's a lead in. Now I need a vent. The vent is to release the gases, because what will happen is when the metal goes in, it'll burn the cuttlefish. When it burns the cuttlefish, that will create gas, and what will happen is the gas will displace the metal, so you won't get your metal forming. So now what I want is this side on this side. Because you're working on the principle of gravity to cast your metal, then you need quite a weight of metal, so that when it goes in to the cuttlefish, it's definite. So that's just iron binding wire, just to keep the two halves together. Which the halves have got to be clamped tightly, because you don't want what's called flashing. You don't want your metal to escape past your mould, because then you'll start to lose definition of your article. So that's the mould ready. Alternatively, if you wanted a cross with, say, a pattern on, so all that is just a rough demonstration of, you know, if you want to be a bit more artistic with it, then you can. You want to switch them out well on. This is a ceramic crucible, and the handle is just made out of twisted wire. You need quite a big flame. You want a nice cover of the metal to try and stop it oxidising, because you don't want that skin on. You don't want to get too close to the metal. If you get too close to the metal, then you can end up forcing gases into the metal, which those gases will then start popping off and igniting when the metal's molten. So trying to get the heat through the metal evenly. And you can see there, that metal's spinning. When the metal's spinning, it basically means that the metal's molten. That metal's still molten in there. And the cuttlefish is now burning away. So what I want is the metal to solidify, which it has, but if it gets left for too long, it could distort the definition. So I'm just going to stand that in a jug. Just scrub that off. So this is a cross that basically I just used a sharp implement to score into the cuttlefish after the cross had been pressed in. So it's quite pretty, and it was spur of the moment. So now we'll cut these sprues off from here and here, and then just touch these up with a file. Just tidy that off so there's no sharp edges, and then you can make your jump rings for the top. There's not many people now actually solo with two hands. Jewelers are so used to using the torch that I don't think they would be able to use this. I think they've got to be trained, and it's got to feel as though it's second nature to you. And if you wanted, you could polish it. Now these have got to go into sulfuric acid, a mix of sulfuric acid and water, a dilution, and they'll go into an ultrasonic bath which will pass ultrasonic waves through it at the same time, heating the acid, which activates it and makes it work faster. And then they'll come out lovely and silver, and then you could put whatever finish that you wanted on them. You see it's a little bit oxidised still, but we'll give it a scratch brush and that'll come up nice and white. So now with them you could put a mixture of finishes on them. Just use a soft buff, well, a relatively soft buff, and in between buff with some white polish on, used for polishing white, gold and platinum. All that'll do is highlight these markings and leave like a brushed finish, like a matte finish on the background. This one I'm quite tempted to put a brushed finish on it using an abrasive wheel. So all we're going to do is a quick the abrasive wheel, so that's all we're doing. So you've got like a satin type finish on that. These are just very quickly done, and that one's been highlighted. So now this one will get ultrasonic to get the polish off, and then that'll be what I would call done. And I wouldn't do any more to that because big chance of spoiling it. That's it, one off, never to be repeated. Silver cross. And then that will be ready to go on a chain. Nice little present for somebody.